Namo Arihantana. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayarayana. Namo Vasayana. Namo Loye Sava Sahunam. Esopancha namo karom sabapavapanasanam mangalanam cha savesim padaman kabai mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satitanam. Namo Vigrahaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayareyanam. Namo Vasayanam. Namo Loye Sava Sahunam. Esopancha namukarom savapavapanashanam mangalam cha savesim padaman kavai mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satitanam. Namo Vitragaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Yareyanam. Namo Vasayanam. Namo Loye Sava Sahunam. Esopancha namukaro savapavapanashanam mangalam cha savesim padamam kavai mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satitanam. Jai Satitanam. Jai Satitanam.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai
Yes. Please excuse Shuddha. His evidences were not all falling into place at the right time. So I apologize for keeping you all waiting. And now we begin our satsang. And this we'll make it up. We'll make it up through the contents of what arises in with Dada here.
Dice que pide disculpas porque las evidencias no cayeron todas juntas para el satsang de hoy, y que bueno, que vamos a comenzar el satsang.
Good. All right. So when you say the evidences, then there is nothing much to really kind of reason about it, that's how it is. But
cuando vemos las evidencias vemos que no hay nada que hacer, que es así.
Yeah. I was very much aware that I have to be with you, but still it didn't happen. Now, let me share this with you. This is the 325 Dadavani. Dadavani 325 has become important for all of us. 325 and another 20 degrees and you become 345, and 345 you and I become the Gnanis, you see. Where Gnani means a very clear and a distinct experience of the self. It's clear and distinct. Everywhere the experience of separation remains. You do not have to separate. You are separate and you remain separate, and you look at everything as if from the two viewpoints, you see. Everything from the two viewpoints.
Yes.
Mhm.
Dice que ahora estamos con el Dadavani 325, que es absolutamente importante, ¿no? Para ir de 320 a 325 a 345, y ahí seremos Gnanis, y tenemos, y esta es, es clara y distintiva, ¿no? La visión del Gnani, es la experiencia de de permanecer separados, no hay que separarse, y ver desde, tener los dos puntos de vista, ver las cosas con los dos puntos de vista con total claridad.
Mhm. Now, so let me just now share this Dadavani with you, and we continue this one here. And so now, do you see this here, Patricia?
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
we are on page 46 here, so we were on page 45. Is this where we were?
Maybe a little bit
Above
big
that?
the letters, please.
A bigger letter, huh? Ah, I see.
Got it.
Okay, let me make the letters
Yes,
bigger, okay?
that's
All right.
okay.
Huh? Now, is that better? How is that, Patricia? Can you see that? Hello, Patricia?
I think we have done this.
Yes. So we have done the common sense, and then we go up to see different pages. I open different version. If one does not remain in the agnas, you will end up interfering, you see. Yeah, this one also we have done, about I will be very pleased with you, and we talked about the Rajipo part, you see. I'm very pleased with you because you're remaining in the agnas. And then if how about this, if just one of our agnas is followed completely, it is possible for, have you read that?
No, let's start here.
Okay, good, yes. This is, Dadashri says that if just one of our agnas is followed completely, it is possible for one to become ek avatari. Ek means one, avatar means another life remains. You see, ek avatari.
I think we read this. Yes, I
Okay.
have that work.
Excuse me, I think we were in the 49 or
Oh,
50,
okay. All right.
because we saw Rajipo.
49, did you say?
Yes.
Okay, well, I tell you why this my having difficulty, because I pulled this one out from my computer. So let's go up further. Instead of pulling this one out from the web, Dakhodakal is merely from
Yes.
this too. We have
We're
already
done.
read that. We have
Yes.
done that.
Yes.
Yes. Then I think it comes to this one. Then it is we were Dakhodakal, and as long as there is a trace of egoism present, we also done that, right? We have done this one. It will not,
Mhm.
all right. A judge came, and why do you say I am this and I am that? We took care of all of that, don't we? Now, so my difficulty is that I'm doing the same thing with the Brazilians too, and and I mark it, but you know, it doesn't.
Maybe here we
Yes,
a
I
ver,
think this
let's
one we didn't.
yes here
Okay,
here
good,
here.
good, good. All right. Okay, good, good. So you are now a little behind the Brazilians. So that's, I should have marked yours, but, okay. All right. Uh, as long as there is a trace of egoism present, it will not refrain from binding obstructions. It will not refrain from interfering. And therefore, wherever interferences happen, wherever interference happens, occurs, withdraw, pull back, pull back the ego, pull back the ego.
Mientras haya un precedente, un rastro de egoísmo, este no se abstendrá de cargar obstrucciones, no se abstendrá de interferir. Por lo tanto, donde quiera que haya interferencia, abandona el egoísmo.
Now, ego means I also Patricia, I am Patricia. Egoism is to move in any direction, even an inch forward with that sense. With that sense, I am Patricia. That is called egoism. In other words, ego is not the problem. Egoism is the problem, the exercise of the ego, because we do have ego in our discharge part too. But egoism means I am Patricia and this is happening to me. I am doing this. I am saying this. You see, so egoism is the movement forward of the ego. You see?
Acá aclara que egoísmo es todos tenemos ego, pero el egoísmo es decir, bueno, yo soy Patricia, esto me sucedió a mí o esto es lo que yo voy a hacer. Es la conciencia de que somos el ego.
And with reference to the word binding here, the correct translation should be, it will not refrain from creating obstructions. You see, not binding. When you say bind, it somehow implies that you are bound not only for this life, but also for next life, you see. So, so it creates obstructions, you see.
So instead of binding,
Binding,
it
we
would
should
be,
create,
no, you said
creating, from creating.
created. Okay, okay. Y acá cuando dice que esto no te abstendrá de cargar obstrucciones, en realidad es esto está hablando para cargar para la próxima vida. Y la palabra sería crear obstrucciones en vez de binding, en vez de cargar.
So now the other speaks in detail. A judge had come and I told him, why do you keep of saying, I am this and I am that, everywhere it is? Why do you employ this I so much? What is the purpose of such egoism? Egoism is the greatest weakness. And no matter how virtuous you are or may be, humility should arise in you. These are all words of our Dada to the judge. Now, one can be considered virtuous when he is filled with humility, or he is, when you are, when he
Humble.
humble, humility,
Yeah.
yes. While filled with humility, or you are humble, either one of the two. Egoism means he is overflowing. One who overflows is considered useless. Egoism itself is incompleteness. Egoism means you're incomplete.
Había venido un juez y le dije, ¿por qué sigues diciendo yo soy esto y yo soy aquello? ¿Cuál es el propósito de tal egoísmo? El egoísmo es la mayor debilidad. Por muy virtuoso que seas, debe surgir en ti la humildad. Uno puede ser considerado virtuoso cuando está cargado de humildad. El egoísmo significa que está desbordado. Quien se desborda se considera inútil. El egoísmo en sí mismo es lo incompleto.
When I speak here and the other person becomes upset, I immediately recognize or I immediately know, I immediately recognize, you see, that
Ujú,
I immediately understand is the correct word. I immediately understand that I'm wrong. It is entirely 100% wrong. So I do not say that, then I do not say that he doesn't understand and that is why he is getting upset. The mistake is indeed mine. The mistake is indeed mine.
mm. Cuando hablo aquí y ahora, cuando hablo aquí y la otra persona se enoja, reconozco, me doy cuenta inmediatamente que estoy equivocado. Es erróneo por completo al 100%. Así que digo que no lo entiende y por eso se enoja. De hecho, el error es mío.
Mm-hmm. You see? Now, now that goes deeper into this. This thing is important to understand.
Acá
Questioner.
vamos profundamente y es importante de poder entender.
Excuse me. Questioner says, not everyone is able to grasp this level of humility that you have. You turn back completely within a second. Mm-hmm.
Le preguntan, no todo el mundo es capaz de captar este nivel de humildad que usted tiene. Usted retrocede por completo en un segundo.
Mm-hmm. And so then Dadashri says, you are weak. You will become even weaker. Let me see here. This one here. You will become even weaker. Supposing Dada is talking to you and you become upset. That is the, say Dada is talking to you and you become upset. You are weak and you will become even weaker if I, Dada, doesn't turn back. Therefore, I should give you some scope, some space. Mm-hmm.
Dada dice, tú eres débil y la debilidad aún y la debilitarás aún más si no das marcha atrás. Por lo tanto, debo darte cierto margen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so the other questioner, and in order to give us some scope or space, you do not say that we are wrong, Dada. Dada says, I say that I have made a mistake.
Le preguntan, y para darnos cierto margen, ¿usted no nos dice que estamos equivocados? Y Dada dice, yo digo que yo he cometido un error.
You know, have you noticed that whenever there is any kind of simple conversations going on among friends, and then if it gets heated up, it is very rare for anyone to say, listen, I'm wrong. You know, I'm wrong. I was wrong. I'm wrong. And, you know, but this is the beauty. The moment you say you're wrong, you are pulling, you had gone into the direction of egoism. Ego went into egoism. And by saying that you were wrong, you come back home, you see. And so this is something that we learn from Dada. Dada said, what does Dada say? I say that I have made a mistake.
Ujú. Acá, por ejemplo, cuando nosotros decimos algo que puede herir o molestar al otro, y nos damos, estamos en el egoísmo, pero si herimos a otro, ¿no? Pero si nos damos cuenta que hemos cometido un error y decimos yo he cometido un error, inmediatamente volvemos al hogar.
And you see this weakness.
Ujú.
This weakness
Si
that
no,
Dada is talking about above, this weakness, you see?
Acá
is
Dada de lo que está hablando es de la debilidad.
weakness means still present with kashais, still present with kashais, you see?
Acá la debilidad es estar presente, que estén presentes los kashais.
Mhm. And so, questioner, what I mean to say is, even after attaining this level of Gnan, if the other person doesn't understand, you still say that you are wrong. And Dadashri replies, I say I am wrong. You are not able to see it, so how can I continue telling you, look, it's like this, it's like that? You will get frustrated. And if you have a knife in your hand, you will hurt me. Therefore, I would say, no, you're right. Put the knife down, please. Otherwise, due to his inability to see clearly, he will hurt me with the knife.
Le pregunta el interlocutor a Dada, lo que quiero decir es que incluso después de obtener el nivel del Gnan, si la otra persona no lo entiende, usted sigue diciendo que usted está equivocado. Dadashri dice, yo digo, estoy equivocado, tú no eres capaz de verlo. Así que cuando puedas seguir diciéndote, así que ¿cuánto tiempo puedo seguir diciéndote, mira, esto es de una forma, esto es de aquella forma? Y te frustrarás. Y si tuvieras un cuchillo en la mano, me harías daño. Por lo tanto, yo diría, no, tienes razón, baja el cuchillo. De lo contrario, debido a tu incapacidad para ver con claridad, me harás daño con el cuchillo.
So, questioner, as the knowledge and understanding of Mahatmas is increasing, the egoism is also increasing in parallel. But really, humility should be increasing in parallel, shouldn't it? And Dadakshi gives a long reply. Let you read the question first.
Yes. Le preguntan a Dada, a medida que aumenta el conocimiento y la comprensión de los Mahatmas, también aumenta paralelamente el egoísmo, pero en realidad la humildad debe aumentar en paralelo, ¿no es así?
Okay, so Dadashri replies, Dadashri says, when egoism increases, now this is not just the ego, egoism is increasing, I strike it down with a bomb every 4 to 6 months. So all of that goes away. Dada is talking, this is about with Mahatmas. I do not nag every day. I do not tell you you don't understand what's wrong with you. I can tell you that it has increased this much over here. I can tell that this egoism has increased this much over here. Then once in a while I strike it down. This is how I have kept all these people in check, in order, you see. The purpose is to remove the mistake, and if I don't strike it, it will grow into a tree over there and cast a shadow. As a result, the plants in the shade will not bear fruit. You see, as a result, it will not bear fruit. You see. Do you understand a term vancho? Vancho means a shade or a shadow.
Shadow. Yes.
Okay. When what happens when cotton plants are grown in the shade, they will grow quite tall, but they will not bear any flowers. Flowers means cotton. So what our people say is, it was affected by vancho. One will say that, you see. But it is such, they will say, but it is such a big cotton plant, so why didn't it bear any flowers? They will reply, and if I ask the farmers, they will reply, it was affected by vancho. It kind of got covered by shade, you see. Then one will ask, well, what do you mean by vancho? And therefore, now before such a tree grows, I cut it down right away. You see, macho, as it starts growing in such a way, along with the other thing that's growing around it, that it doesn't get enough sunlight, you see. So the plant has to have full sunlight, you see. So you follow this method of mine. You should follow this method of mine. This method of mine is indeed yours to use.
Dadashri dice, cuando ese egoísmo aumenta, lo derribo con una bomba, cada 4 o 6 meses. Entonces todo eso desaparece. Yo no regaño todos los días, pero puedo decir que ha aumentado esta cantidad por aquí. Entonces de vez en cuando lo derribo. Así es como he mantenido a toda esta gente en orden. El propósito es eliminar el error. Si no lo derribo, crecerá hasta convertirse en un árbol y por allí proyectará una sombra. Como resultado, las plantas a la sombra no darán fruto. ¿Entiendes? El término sombra, banchó, que ocurre cuando has plantado un algodón y crece a la sombra. Crecerán bien altas, pero no darán flores. Así que lo que nuestra gente dice es que fue afectado por Bancho, por las sombras. Y uno dirá, es una planta, ay, sorry, a little bit down there, a little bit down there. Pero es una planta de algodón tan grande, ¿por qué no dio flores? Y ellos responderán, fue afectado por Bancho, que es la sombra. Y tú preguntas, pero ¿entiendes por Bancho? Por lo tanto, antes de que crezca un árbol así, lo corto de inmediato. Y tú deberías seguir mi método. Este método es mío, es en efecto tuyo
So,
para usar.
questioner. Okay, now this whole satsang has taken a different angle right now. The person who is conversing with Dada, he himself has got, he's in a state of vancho, means, he's under the shade. He's speaking a lot about Vignan science, but there is no fruit, you see. He has kind of entered into this dimension of going very tall. I know something, I am something, and that is what is the problem, you see.
Ujú. Acá dice que acá esta persona que le está preguntando a Dada, si bien es un Mahatma y habla con el Gnan, aún está en las sombras, ¿no? Y dice, bueno, yo sé esto, he leído aquello, ¿no? Es con ego todavía.
So, questioner, he still insists. The questioner says, I am proceeding with your method. I have reached a point where I feel I have to behave like a patient in a mental hospital. I will have to wave my finger like this to show that I don't understand and get out of that situation. So he is blaming the world, you see, for his. He says, I'm frustrated. I am not getting along, so now I'll have to get out of this world. You see, now that is what he is trying to convey, you see.
Ujú,
Whereas somebody that is the plants, Mahatmas, the plants that are bearing fruit, is they're following the methods of Dada with understanding, without egoism. You see, this man, what he's speaking here is only showing his egoism, you see. I'll have to do
ujú,
this and I'll have to do that.
ujú. Acá dice el interlocutor, estoy siguiendo su método. He llegado a un punto en el que siento que tengo que convertirme como un paciente en un psiquiátrico. Te tendré que agitar el dedo así para mostrar que no entiendo y salir de esta situación, ¿no? Esta persona todavía sigue con el ego, ¿no? Y sigue como criticando, hablando de, del hospital psiquiátrico, ¿no? Sigue hablando desde allí.
So Dadashri really replies here, no, even there your egoism still at play, even as, you and I can see what he's said about mental hospital, I want to shut up, I want to get out, you see, all of those kind of things. Even there
Mm,
your egoism is still at play. And, so
mm,
this is Dada, this is how Dada assesses his situation. Dada is trying to kind of bring him back to normality, you see.
ujú. Acá esta persona sigue hablando desde el ego, ya que critica el hospital, dice que tiene que decir lo que tiene que decir para poder salir de ese lugar, ¿no? Entonces, está en el ego. Y Dada lo que está haciendo es tratar de traerlo al hogar.
So now the questioner still is stuck. He says, that is why I'm saying I do this and this. I signal, he signal that he doesn't understand, and I get out of there, you see. And that's what
Ujú,
he's saying. The other she says, that is your own fabrication. Fabrication means anything that is used through the any use of the intellect. That is your own
mm,
fabrication. Instead, why not accept it as I do? The actual principle here is that if the other person is not accepting it, and if I say it is my fault, then then things will move forward. Otherwise, they won't.
ujú. El interlocutor le dice, por eso digo, luego esto y esto, señal y salgo de allí. En lo cual Dada responde que es su propia invención. En lugar de eso, ¿por qué no lo acepto? ¿Por qué no lo aceptas como yo? El principio real aquí es que la otra persona no lo acepta. Y si yo digo es culpa mía, entonces las cosas avanzarán. De lo contrario, no lo harán.
Questioner. If I am saying something and I believe that my statement is correct, but the
Mm,
other person says it is incorrect, then there will be a dispute. So one of the two will have to concede, right? Now, see, he is still applying Gnan. And the other replies, Do I ever have disputes with anyone when I speak? What is the reason behind that? It is because I am pure. It's because I'm pure. Pure means there is no trace, not even presence. There is no trace of egoism.
ujú,
As long as there is a trace of egoism present, it will not refrain from creating obstructions. Forget about binding in the next life. It will not
bien.
refrain from creating obstructions. It will not refrain from interfering right now. Therefore, whenever interference happens, withdraw, get out of it, you see.
Ujú. El interlocutor dice, si yo estoy diciendo algo y creo que mi afirmación es la correcta, pero la otra persona dice que es incorrecta, entonces habrá una disputa. Entonces uno de los dos tendrá que ceder, ¿no? Y Dada dice, ¿alguna vez tengo disputas con alguien cuando habla? Le pregunta. ¿Y cuál es la razón de esto? Es porque yo soy puro. Y no hay presencia, no hay rastro de egoísmo. Y mientras haya un rastro de egoísmo presente, no se abstendrá de de crear obstrucciones, no se abstendrá de interferir. Por lo tanto, donde quiera que haya interferencia, retírate.
Mhm, mhm. Questioner, that test is right for us, you see. Now that's the test, you see. The
Ujú,
test is, when the other person doesn't accept it, you have to withdraw. Whatever you say, whenever, if it's not suitable for the other person starts becoming a little upset, irritated, it shows in his speech, then you have to withdraw. If we are right, if we can quickly withdraw like you do, and if that much humility remains, then we are free of egoism. If we are unable to explain our point to the other person, it means something is lacking in us, you see. And this man is turning around now. This man, he says, yes, he is understanding what Dada is saying. Dada, she says, not being able to explain your point of view or what you are trying to say is itself called ignorance. This is a very big sentence. Go on.
Interlocutor. Esa prueba es correcta para nosotros, incluso si tenemos razón. Si podemos retirarnos rápidamente como haces tú. Si no nos queda tanta humildad, y si nos queda tanta humildad, entonces estamos libres de egoísmo. Y si no somos capaces de explicar nuestro punto de vista a la otra persona, significa que algo falta de nosotros. Acá se ve cómo está entendiendo el interlocutor. A lo cual Dada responde que no es capaz de explicar, no ser capaz de explicar tu punto de vista se llama ignorancia.
It's itself the ignorance, you see. And whenever you and I now see the word ignorance, it means darkness. It means absence of our absence. We are the light, and all of a sudden we have entered darkness. That means we are not pure souls. We are Patricia, Shuddha, Fabiana, etc. See?
Esto de ignorancia, que dice que si no eres capaz de explicar tu punto y entras en ignorancia, la ignorancia en realidad es la oscuridad, es no estar en el ser que es la luz. Y es volverme Patricia, por ejemplo.
No. Now, if we were to go to some other country and give someone blessings by saying swasti, this means may you be happy, swasti. Then what would he make out of that? What would he make of that? He may think, did he just insult me? If he misunderstands, then he may beat you. So when you see him getting angry, don't think you shouldn't say, oh, I gave him blessings and why is he getting angry? Don't think that way. Instead, you should tell him right away, brother, it seems like I have made a mistake, reversal. When you say this, he will turn back. If you say, I made a mistake, then he will accept that. Then you can ask him, how do you say this in your country, And then he will say it in his way, and he will be happy. You should resolve it in his language, according to his understanding. That language, the word in Gujarati is bhasha.
Ahora bien, si fueras a otro país y le dices la bendición a alguien diciéndole swasti, una palabra que significa que sea feliz, ¿qué pensaría? Si lo entiende mal, puede que te golpee. Tú, cuando ves que se enoja, no piensas, le he dado bendiciones porque se enoja. No piensas así. En lugar de eso, debes decirle de inmediato, hermano, parece que he cometido un error. Cuando digas esto, la otra persona volverá atrás y tú le dices, cometí un error y él lo acepta. Y entonces puedes preguntarles, ¿cómo se dice en tu país? Y cuando te lo diga de esa manera, se alegrará. Y tú debes resolverlo en su idioma, en su propio entendimiento.
Now, instead, one tries to make others accept it in one's own language. I should speak in your language. Shouldn't you speak in the other person's language? Or should you speak in your other person's language or in your language? And recognize, what do you think? Everyone's language is different, isn't it? If you go to another country and talk to someone in your own language, then what will happen to that person? The poor guy will take it the wrong way. You see? So if we move forward after looking at all the correction, Dada says, we move forward after looking at all the corners. That is why I haven't bumped into anything anywhere. All right?
En cambio, uno intenta que los demás lo acepten en su propio idioma. Y deberías de hablar en tu idioma. Tú debes de hablar en el idioma de la otra persona o en tu idioma. ¿Tú qué crees? La lengua de cada uno es diferente, ¿no? Si vas a otro país y hablas con alguien en tu propia lengua, hablas en tu propia lengua,
Yes.
me perdí.
Mhm.
De, en tu propia, ¿qué le pasará a la otra persona? El pobre se lo tomará mal y nosotros avanzamos después de mirar todas las esquinas. Por eso te he chocado, por eso no he chocado con nada en ninguna parte.
Mhm. Mhm. There is a, in Gujarati, with this word bhasha and boli. Boli means what is being spoken, and bhasha is the underlying way of conveying or communicating, you see. So if you can, even if you are in China, but if you can communicate through whatever man means, you see, you are communicating, and so you are connecting with something deeper within that human being. I'm not talking about Amapura, but just deeper. You see, so you're connecting with the language of that human being. You see, you say you're hungry, so then you point to your stomach, and then you point to, your hands or something. You point to some food, pictures on the restaurant or in your hand. They they will understand. They will understand. You have not spoken a word of Chinese, and yet you are conveying it in the fundamental language that human beings understand, the bhasha, you see. And then there are these words that refine your ability to kind of speak clearly, and that is your own individual language, you see, yours and mine, Hmm?
Yes. Bueno, aquí hay dos palabras, ¿no? Una es vaya, que es comunicar, ¿no? Imagínate que vas a un país donde no hablas el idioma, no hablan tu idioma para nada, pero
Mhm.
puedes conectar con esa persona en una forma más profunda. Por ejemplo, eh, si tienes hambre, le puedes mostrar comida y tocarte el estómago, la boca, y la otra persona te va a estar entendiendo, ¿no? Y es como un idioma universal el de las señas, y vas a comunicar desde un lugar más profundo.
Mhm.
Y después está Bolí, que es lo hablado, la habilidad de hablar claro con la otra persona, ¿no? En el idioma que la otra persona también entienda.
Mhm. Yes. So we come back. Now let's just take a 10-minute break, not 15. 10 minutes is good.
Ok,
Huh?
ok,
And then we will be back with more. All right. Thank you.
yes.
Mhm.
Volvemos en 10 minutos, no 15. Besitos a todos. Break. Do you listen me, Shuddha?
Okay. So we resume. Can you hear me?
Do you listen me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. In the overall analysis of this particular satsang, this which we kind of read through so far, the importance is this heading, which is even a trace, even a minute presence of ego. Because as long as the ego is present, it by nature will not stop from exercising its role, you see. So ego, even trace of ego is not needed, and that is why we are here in this satsang, you see. Not even a trace of ego is necessary for our further progress, and in fact, a trace of ego can enter into egoism anytime and create problems. Create problems means the other person getting upset. That is now a problem that has been created, you see, a dispute, etc. So so this whole satsang is very beautiful because this vacho or this shade of darkness, you see, ego, grows into a tall tree, and then it is very difficult, you see. When it's very difficult to get out of it, come out of this sense that I know, I am something, I am superior, all of that nonsense, you see.
Well, yes. En el análisis de todo esto que estuvimos leyendo, lo más importante es que el más mínimo rastro de ego presente no parará el egoísmo, ¿no? Y lo más importante es que el ego es absolutamente innecesario. Entrar en el egoísmo lo que va a hacer es traernos problemas, es que la otra persona se puede enojar, generar disputas, y esto es lo más bello de poder ver, ¿no? Que la sombra da oscuridad, y la oscuridad crecerá en el egoísmo. Y es más difícil entonces que podamos salir de ese lugar.
And the commonest expression of ego and egoism is and the most frequently used in conversations, in speech, interactions with other human beings, you see. And that is where now the acute awareness, the increasing awareness of this part in operation is very, very important, you see. Now, it's not open ego, but you see, what is the sign, what is the signal? The other person is getting agitated, he is not paying attention, he is fidgeting, he is getting upset. Then it should be a cue to you and I that the egoism on your part, my part, is now playing a role. And so reverse, completely reverse. Come on, bring it back, you see, without blaming the other person. Yes, the fault is mine. Very subtle satsang here that we have covered.
Bueno, estas expresiones comunes surgen en las conversaciones, en las interacciones, y en la medida que la conciencia surge, que va surgiendo en esta parte, es cómo opera el Gnan. Y entonces, si hay rastros de sombra, vemos que la otra persona no presta atención o se enoja. Entonces nosotros lo que debemos de hacer es ver nuestro propio egoísmo y no mantener el rol del egoísmo. Y es revertirlo diciendo que bueno, que la falta es mía y que sin culpar a nadie.
The main volumes of Dadavani 10 are in two parts. The first part is on mind and chit. The second part is on ego, intellect and ego, you see. And this one is from the second part of the Dadavani 12, you see. Sorry, not 12, 10, 10, 10, 10.
10, yes, I understand 10. En el Dadavani 10, la primera parte se refiere a la mente y al chit, y la segunda parte al intelecto y al ego. Y esto pertenece a la segunda parte del intelecto y del ego, en Dadavani 10.
And so a critical portion of that has been brought out here, and it is for us to kind of, this is easy, you see, this is easy to understand. There are two portions of it. The subtle aspects of it is the other person is getting upset, you see, and that doesn't mean our common approach is, his problem, he doesn't understand, he doesn't pay attention to what I'm saying. Whereas this real understanding and the real answer is, your ego has arisen, your egoism is in play, my egoism is in play, you see.
Lo sutil de esto, ¿no? Lo importante de esto es ver que parte de lo que está sucediendo, podemos decir que sucede que la otra persona se enoja, entonces nuestro propio egoísmo dice, no presta atención, no entiende, y ahí es cuando mi propio egoísmo está surgiendo.
And then the other beautiful thing that Dada is briefly kind of addresses is this generation, the genesis of this sense of how all of this is being eaten up and consumed by the kashai of pride within each one of us. You see, and the kashai of pride eats up all that knowledge that is being absorbed through the intellect, and he believes that I know, I am superior, I am now enlightened, I don't need to do anything, etc., etc. All of these things are really the growth in darkness. This is not growth in light. This is not growth in prajna. This is not from the light of the self or agnas, you see. Then,
Mm. Dice que esto es es como lo que Dada dice que esto es el génesis del sentido, ¿no? Y cuando surgen los kashais es el kashai del orgullo. Entonces hay gente que te ha tomado el nani y dice, bueno, yo estoy iluminado, yo sé, la otra persona no. Y todo eso es la oscuridad. Y cuando esto está sucediendo, no es el pragnia, no es el ser, no son las agnas, no es el Gnan.
yes. Because ego leads us into pride. That's easy. And lesser the ego, the more humble we become. Lesser the ego, the more receptive and more accepting we are of the human being that is there in front of us.
El ego nos lleva al orgullo y contrariamente es la humildad lo que nos lleva a aceptar a las personas como son y qué es lo que está sucediendo.
So, and one more thing, when Dada talks about the bomb, you see, and at other places, Dada uses the word operation. I operate on you. So on certain Mahatmas, Dada makes this the operation because, after 5-6 months, Dada recognizes that his now egoism has increased. His knowledge is fruitless. His knowledge, all his talk of Gnan is not Gnan, but in fact intellectual growth. Intellect has grown, and Dada cuts it off. Dada gives a bomb. Dada does an operation. But Dada has the techniques of how to do this so that the Mahatma does not run away. You see, Dada has to do it in a group, listening, where everybody is listening, so that everybody focuses on their own ego rather than seeing the fault of the one, saying, oh, see how he was flying high, now he is brought down by the other. Not that way. These are all things, these are all, this is all the play of the ego. The play of the ego is so subtle, you see, and it throws the train off the tracks, you see. Instead of going in satsang, it goes away from satsang.
Dada usa la palabra bomba u operación y esto es que por ahí 5 o 6 meses después del Gnan es como que el intelecto crece y ahí es donde él opera o tira la bomba de forma tal que la gente no salga corriendo y dice cómo traerlos, ¿no? Para escucharlos y que no corran. Y es ver cómo surge el intelecto y cómo sube el Nan y cómo baja el intelecto o cómo baja el Nan también cuando el intelecto está operando. Y este es el juego del ego, ¿no? Es la forma en que el ego está operando. En que yo entendí, en que yo sé, yo soy Mahatma.
Yes. And also, if you go to that very specific sentence that began this other part of that satsang, it was interesting. It was this one here, right? As the knowledge and understanding of Mahatmas is increasing, the egoism is also increasing in parallel. Now that is a contradiction. You see that, as the knowledge and understanding increases, egoism should go down. So that is a contradiction. And this questioner who is asking this is itself is, he himself is guilty of it, you see. He's talking about Mahatmas, pointing to other Mahatmas, and in the Akram Vignan we are not to see anything about the other Mahatmas, the faults of other people. You should look at your own fault. If he had said, Dada, he should have said, with my increasing knowledge, I should be more humble, should I not? Why am I not being humble? So that would have been the correct approach. So this is when Dada takes him on in. Dada doesn't say, I'll throw a bomb on you, but slowly and surely, first he talks about the bomb, and then Dada says, it's still your problem. You're fabricating, you're not there yet, Mm.
Dice que cuando... please pull back the page so I can have... I didn't write down. Dice, cuando acá la primera palabra, la primera oración dice que le preguntan, dice, esa medida es una pregunta media como contradictoria. Dice, a medida que aumenta el conocimiento y la comprensión de los Mahatmas, también aumenta para la mente, aumenta el egoísmo, pero en realidad la humildad debería aumentar en paralelo, ¿no es así? Le preguntan. Y acá está, es como una pregunta un poco capciosa, y es y es a lo que Dada dice que cuando el egoísmo aumenta, lo derribo con una bomba y después empieza a explicar, ¿no? El por qué, para explicarle a los Mahatmas el malentendido.
Yeah. So, Vishuddhatma Bhagwan, everyone, let me just pause sharing. And, this everybody understand this very subtle issues of the ego going into egoism. This is all an internal thing. You see? It's happening to all of us in discharge now. In our little things, you and I should be aware that whenever we try to convey something with a colleague or with a friend or with a family member, if it doesn't get accepted by the other person, and if the other person is getting upset, then you and I are in the wrong place. You see, we need to withdraw. We need to get back in the egoless space. You see, we need to get back into the egoless space. Yeah? You understand?
Yes, dice que esto es maravilloso ver cómo del ego se se pone en funcionamiento y se transforma en egoísmo. Entonces, por ejemplo, estamos teniendo una conversación con un colega, un amigo o alguna persona y lo que estamos diciendo no es aceptado y la otra persona se siente molesta o se siente enojado. No es culpar al otro porque no entiende o lo que fuese, sino es vernos a nosotros mismos, cuál es nuestra culpabilidad en lo que está sucediendo. Entonces tenemos que salir de ahí, diciendo que bueno, que es nuestro error y salir de ahí para volver al ser.
Yes, so subtle, but yet so critical, you see, because it's the tough once it gets out of your hand. This is the point where your awareness should kick in, you see. Otherwise, human beings then will say, oh, this guy is full of it. He's full of hot air. He's full of nonsense, you see. Or, they put up with you. They do not really, this real communication is lost, you see. The real interaction with the human being is lost because the ego Dada calls it a trace of ego. He's not even saying egoism. He says even a trace of egoism, you see, will create an obstruction. Not obstruction for whom? Not for the other person. It is for you only. You are here. It obstructs you. It obstructs you. It obstructs us only, you see. And the vision is directly, then you kind of sit down and say, nobody understands me. Those guys are not capable of understanding me. You withdraw into your own shell. So many reactions, you see. Huh?
Dice que esto es tan sutil y tan crítico, ¿no? Y es cuando la conciencia va surgiendo. Si nosotros tenemos estos rastros de egoísmo, la comunicación con las otras personas se perdió. Y esto es no porque haya un egoísmo pleno, sino un pequeño rastro de egoísmo. Y este pequeño rastro de egoísmo lo que único que va a ser crear obstrucciones. ¿Dónde las va a crear? Las va a crear en nuestra propia vida, en nuestro propio camino. Entonces esa es la visión directa. Si no, vamos a estar diciendo, bueno, esta persona no me entiende, no tiene inteligencia, vamos a estar diciendo cualquier cosa. Y es mirarnos a nosotros.
Yeah, you can, it's so easy to say, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I did not express myself correctly. I did not use the right words. I mean, you and I are finding this all the time now. We say something and forget about speaking with one person. There are two other people, and it just is received in three different ways, you see, and there is no harmony. There is no harmony in that conversation.
Esto es, nos pasa todo el tiempo que puede ser que las otras personas no nos entiendan y por ahí estamos hablando con dos, tres personas y cada uno lo va a ver a su propia manera, de su propia forma lo va a estar viendo. Entonces en esa conversación no existe ninguna clase de armonía.
And then when the Dadashri talks a lot about weakness in Akram Vignan, weak. Weak, he is not physically weak, not being mentally weak, all right? Weakness means kashayas are operating. There is underlying kashaya that is directing your movements, thoughts, actions, everything. Kashayas are really kind of driving you, and you are saying, I am in control. You're not in control when you are weak. When you're weak, you see.
Well, we are in control.
No, but this kind of control, Kashaya, you see, yes, we're certainly in control of our natural self, the beautiful self that we are,
Viste que la debilidad no es física, ¿no? Ni es una debilidad mental. Es cuando, a lo que Tada se refiere cuando usa la palabra weak, debilidad. Y en realidad son los kashais que están operando, y operan en momentos, en charlas, en acciones, en pensamientos, y nosotros terminan diciendo, bueno, yo estoy en control.
Yeah, and then the last sentence about Dada, when he says, we look at all the corners, we see all the corners before we take a step or walk. Before we walk, this is the vision of the Gnani. You see, the Gnani's vision is, this is his vision applied in relative situations and in worldly interaction, you see. This is a manifestation of his magnificent awareness, you see, his awareness. So many things are considered before Dada looks at everyone and then speaks. If you see his video, you will see that, you see. He is not conversing like you and I are conversing.
Dice Dada que nosotros miramos todos los rincones antes de comenzar a caminar y esta es una conciencia maravillosa. Y si observamos los videos, vamos a ver que Dada siempre ve, observa a todas las personas que están allí antes de comenzar a hablar.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. So, you know, by this deep insights into how Dada approaches, it is our teaching. We learn from Dada. This is called satsang with Dada. By really understanding how Dada sees it and how Dada approaches it, you see, and that is satsang.
Acá podemos ver cómo Dada se acerca a las enseñanzas y cómo las da, y nosotros podemos entender y ver cómo él se acerca a las enseñanzas y las alcanza.
Okay, good, very good. So,
May I ask you in which page we are now?
okay, we are in 63 of 87 pages. This PDF 325S. You see it in front of you? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, now we finish this and now we come to the next heading, you see?
Yes.
All right, so what it says here, the whole thing is an Apta Sutra. This whole multiple lines are is an Apta Sutra number 1783, okay? And the other Stree starts saying, we are originally someone who is free from interference. You see, we means Gnani Purush and Dada Bhagwan are from in the original state. We are free from interference. If you have become free from interference, then even if people sitting around you interfere, how can that affect you? How can that affect you? All the interference goes away simply by our presence, our presence. What problem could arise for the one who only dwells in the self? The worldly life does not obstruct the one who dwells only in the self. You see?
Yes.
All right.
Dice, nosotros somos originalmente alguien que está libre de interferencias. Si te has liberado de las interferencias, incluso si la gente que está sentada a tu alrededor interfiere, ¿cómo puede afectarte? Todas las interferencias desaparecen simplemente por nuestra presencia. ¿Qué problema podría surgir para aquel que está en el ser? La vida mundana no obstruye a aquel que solo mora en el ser.
In this world, there can only be one person who is a Buddha. A Buddha. A Buddha. The rest are all buddhishali, those endowed with intellect, you filled with intellect. Intellect that sees and extracts faults in others, you see. Saints and ascetics are all buddhishalis. All the saints and ascetics are all buddhishali in the Akramic path, you see. In the Akram path, the saint is you and I. You know, we have category 5 in Namakarvedi in the Trimantra, you see. Saints and ascetics are all full of buddhi. You and I, we do not, all our buddhi has been separated. Our intellect has been separated. So it's not ours. There isn't even an iota of intellect, even a trace of intellect in me. And that is why I have benefited.
Dice, En este mundo solo puede haber una persona que sea a Buda. El resto son todos Buda, ay,
Buddhishadi. Buddhishadi.
Buddhishali.
Uh-huh.
Buddhishali, aquellos que utilizan su intelecto para ver y extraer defectos de los demás.
Mm.
Los santos y los ascetas son todos Buddhishab.
Vale.
No hay ni una pizca de intelecto en mí y por eso me he beneficiado.
Questioner, how can the how can the Gnani's worldly interaction run without intellect? Dadashri, that is exactly what needs to be observed. See this. Foreign scientists didn't believe this. I told them, how can you believe this? How can you understand this? I say to people, I am without intellect. And they respond, no, you can't say that. How can you say that? But I am saying it because I do not have an intellect. They feel everybody is buddhishali, everybody is laden with intellect, so how can Dada not have an intellect? But they, on the contrary, are laden with intellect. That is why they are becoming buddhu. Buddhu means foolish, not mad. Mad. The word mad should be taken away, just foolish.
Dice, ¿cómo puede la interacción mundana del Gnani funcionar sin intelecto? Y dice, Dadashri dice, eso es exactamente lo que hay que observar. Los científicos extranjeros no creían esto. Y yo les dije, ¿cómo puedes creer esto? ¿Cómo puedes entender esto? Yo le digo a la gente, yo no tengo intelecto. Y ellos responden, no, no puedes decir eso. ¿Cómo puedes decir eso? Pero lo digo porque no tengo intelecto. Ellos piensan, todo el mundo es buddhishali. ¿Y cómo es posible que solo Dada no tenga intelecto? Pero ellos son buddhishali. Por eso se están volviendo vudú, que son tontos. La palabra loco hay que removerla. No, no es loco, es solo tontos.
Okay, questioner. Yes, but I don't understand that. So what do you mean to say, Dada? And Dada, she replies, when I say I have no intellect, then I must have something else, right? I must have some light with me, right? The intellect is one form of light, and the light that I possess is a different form of light. We have Gnan, we have illumination.
El interlocutor le pregunta a Dada, sí, pero no lo entiendo, ¿qué quieres decir? Y Dadashi dice, cuando digo que no tengo intelecto, entonces debo de tener algo más, ¿verdad? Debo tener algo de luz conmigo, ¿verdad? El intelecto es una forma de luz y la luz que yo poseo es una forma diferente de luz. Nosotros tenemos Gnan, nosotros tenemos iluminación.
Okay, someone may say, you are without intellect, so how do you know all this? We know all this through the light of Gnan. You know things through things through the light of the intellect. Both are forms of light, but there is a difference between the two. Your intellect is an indirect light, whereas our Gnan is a direct light.
Alguien puede decir, y tú no tienes intelecto, pero ¿cómo sabes todo esto? Nosotros conocemos todo esto a través de la luz del Gnan, y tú conoces las cosas a través de la luz del intelecto. Ambas son formas de luz, pero hay una hay una diferencia entre las dos. Tu intelecto es una luz indirecta, mientras que la nuestra, el Gnan, es una luz directa.
Questioner, the direct light that you mentioned, is that what you refer to as a Panu? A Panu. Panu means the state. Abhut Panu, the state of being without intellect. Hmm?
Ujú,
And Dadashri replies, yes, that is Abhut Panu, direct light. You see, this is because the other light comes through the medium of the ego, so it is called intellect. And when the ego comes to an end, when there is no ego, as it happens in Gnan, direct light manifests. I found the light that I was searching for so many lifetimes. I was searching. I attained bliss because I found the light. All of this light should be L capital light. And that bliss is
ujú,
without limit. It is limitless bliss. It is eternal, Sanatan bliss. I do not have an ego nor an intellect, says Dada.
ujú.
Mhm.
El interlocutor le dice, la luz directa que mencionaste, ay, la luz directa que mencionaste, ¿es a eso a lo que te refieres cuando, como Abuda Panu,
Mhm.
que es el estado en el que uno no usa el intelecto? Y Dada dice, sí, no es, sí, es eso, Abudapani, luz directa. Y esto es porque esa otra luz viene a través del medio de el ego y por lo que se llama intelecto. Y cuando el ego llega a su fin, la luz directa se manifiesta. Encontré la luz que había estado buscando durante tantas vidas y obtuve la dicha porque encontré la luz. Y esa luz no tiene límites, es dicha ilimitada, es eterna, sanatán. Yo no tengo ego ni intelecto.
Mhm. I'm just writing something in the chat. You see, this Panu business, you're going to hear a lot in Akram Vignan satsangs. You see, like Street-panu, dhani-panu, you see. Stree means woman, and Street-panu means aggression through I'm the woman. I am the woman. You see, in other words, you see, you are not man, you are not woman, but you have gone into that state. You see, you've gone beyond. Yes, you and I are aware that I'm a man or I'm a woman, etc. But to move with your energies in that direction is detrimental to you. You see, Pano. Just want to explain to you the word Pano.
Ujú, la palabra esta Panu la vamos a escuchar muchísimo y vamos a ver, escribió algo en el chat que dice Street, Panu es la agresión hacia la esposa, ¿no?
Mm.
Y
Dhani Pano,
Panu, Daniel Panu
husband.
es marido. And the aggression to
With
the
sense,
wife.
aggression through the sense that I'm the husband. Yes, you're married. That
Ah,
does not give you the
ah, ah,
license to, I'm the husband. She should do everything what I say. That is the
ah, ah,
force of something that you're not. Are you really a husband or are you a man? Who are you? Hmm? Hmm?
ujú.
Hmm.
Esto, cuando se refiere al marido, a lo que se refiere es a que el marido dice, bueno, vos sos mi esposa y tenés que hacer absolutamente todo lo que yo digo. Y eso es una agresión hacia la mujer. ¿Eres mi esposo o eres un hombre?
Yeah, where is
Y
this? Yeah, where is this Panu? You see, so Sri Panu and Purush Panu, Purush means male, in relative terms. So Sri Panu, Dhani Panu means, you see, all of those things, I'm the father, so that is father Panu. You see, I'm the father. He must listen. My son, he must be listen to me, even though he's now 25 or 35. That's nonsense. You see, that is not got nothing to do with the reality of the situation. You see, the reality of the situation says that both of you are human beings and who are programmed to move in your own independent way, you see.
Acá también habla del padre Panu, ¿no? Que le dice al hijo, escucha, haz esto, haz lo otro. Y esto es un programa de cómo hemos sido formados.
Yeah, every human being by nature is independent, and the world, and this false view, the ignorance has made them so dependent on each other, and consequently so much victims of their own circumstances, you see.
Ujú. La naturaleza ha hecho tanta dependencia entre unos y otros, y esta es la forma también que nos lastima.
So
I see also some kind of I'm the owner, I'm the father, I'm the
yeah.
husband, I'm the owner. You
I
do
can do.
whatever
I can do. Who are you to tell me? She's my
whatever.
wife. I can.
Yes.
There are a lot of men who abuse their wives on this basis. They say, "I have the authority on her."
Mm.
That
All over the world it happens that women also do that. So you're my
yeah,
husband, you have to do this and that.
men do it with open aggression, and women do it with deceit. So it's the same. It's the same.
Yes.
It's the same balance. They're all playing in
Different kashais,
yeah,
same
different
thing.
kasha is operating, going around and around. And then, then the man will come and say, honey, I hurt you. I'm so sorry. You're here. Here's some flowers for you. Can we go out this evening? You don't have to cook. All of a sudden, she forgets all that he has done, in how she has hated him, you see.
Entonces dice que hay hombres que le dicen a la mujer, bueno, vos tenés que hacer todo lo que yo digo, soy tu marido, que esto, que lo otro. Y después cuando el marido viene y le dice, ay, me equivoqué, vos la verdad, te quiero o algo por el estilo, le lleva flores y le dice, vamos a cenar. En ese mismo instante la mujer se olvida de absolutamente todo lo demás, y se olvida de todo lo sucedido.
Yeah. We are all now aware of all of this. We become aware, and not only through that awareness, we have become free from such violence, such unnecessary, ignorant behavior, conduct, you see.
Ujú. Ahora todos tenemos esta conciencia y pudimos salir de esos comportamientos que no son sanos, ¿no?
Yes. Panu, you see, uh, it's called husbandness or I-ness, you see. My I-ness, that I-ness is, I am the husband. And she will say, I am the woman of the house, you see. I control everything. Why does he do things without asking me, you see? You see, so the sansar, the world goes on,
El Panu es esto de que yo soy esto, ¿no? Y dice, yo soy el marido, y después la mujer dice, yo soy la esposa, soy la que está a cargo, soy la que sabe todo, y así continúa el conflicto.
In this Pano is the extreme, the other end of the trace of ego. A trace of ego was discussed by Dada in this previous satsang, and now this Pano business is the extreme of it. You become so willful. You become almost obsessed with your possessiveness of I am this, and this is how it should be, and he's my husband, and he should be doing everything that I want to do. You see, I want him to do, It's a big disease, you see. And the only reason we are discussing it is because this Panu business came in here in the satsang, you see. But this Panu is good. A Buddha Panu is good, you see. Adut Panu means you are now, you're not in a state where your intellect is not at all given any scope, not given any importance, you see.
Yes. El Panu extremo, ¿no? Es el Panu obsesivo, el Panu posesivo, el Panu que tiene razón de que las cosas son así como él dice. Todo esto rastros del ego, ¿no? Pero hay uno bueno que es el Abud Panu y es no estar libre de todo esto, no sentirnos afectados.
By reading all of these things, we are understanding the serious detriment and detrimental role, the serious hurtful role of this intellect. You see, this candlelight that should remain as a candle when this beautiful sun is, the light of the sun is all over and around you as Soyama Pura, you see, Shuddha Chu, Sampurna Shuddha Chu, Sarvanga Shuddha Chu. I am pure, I am completely pure, and I am pure at all levels of my being, you see.
Ujú. Esto entonces es como la luz del intelecto nos lleva a la ignorancia, pero saliendo de esto, estamos en la luz del ser, en la luz del alma pura, en el yo soy puro y soy puro en todos los sentidos y en todos los lugares.
And then the other comes and says, and he uses the word, not only he uses the word abud, but he uses entirely abud. In other words, this is a new sentence that is speaking. One can only be referred to as a Gnani if he is entirely a Buddha, one who has nothing left to know in this world. Now, such a one is the one for whom there is nothing left to know anymore in this world. One whom even the absolute self now yields to, says, oh yes, even the Lord himself says, wow, this is an amazing state. You have come to an amazing state. The Lord is very high inside each one of us, but when you and I reach that level where there is no intellect, a Buddh level, intellect is not being used, then the Lord inside even yields to us. The Lord says, I yield to you. I my namaskars to you.
Ujú. Un Gnani es un abud completo. Y no hay nada en este mundo que tenga que saber. Él ya sabe, tiene el conocimiento total, está en el ser absoluto. Él es el Lord en sí mismo. Y cuando nosotros estamos en Abud, el Lord nos sana de todo esto.
By the same, in the other way of looking at it is, you and I, my friends, have received that, and we have received the complete, absolute knowledge in the Gnan Vidi. There's nothing further to be known, you see. Any moments to know this and to know that is a moment of the intellect. Whereas the Gnani, for him, there is nothing to be known, you see. Everything is known.
Yes. Dice, cuando nosotros recibimos este completo y absoluto conocimiento, lo que lo hemos recibido en el Gnan, ya no hay nada más que saber. Todo el resto de las preguntas tienen que ver con el intelecto.
And Dada was with Niruma in Toronto in one of the Canada visits, you see. And in this visit, the Mahatmas are excited because they wanted to show Dada Niagara Falls, just like if some of you will say, oh, Dada is here, let's take him to Iguazu, And and so Dada came along. And then, Niruma got a little excited, so she kind of, moved forward and leaned on the wall, and is amazingly seeing this huge phenomenal wonder, the Niagara Falls, you see. And she was so absorbed in it, And then Dada gently approached her from behind and said, Niruben, what are you saying? And she turns around and says, Dada, look, this is so beautiful. And Dada tells her, what is there to see? It's nothing. It's only water and stones. It's only water and stones. You see, in other words, it's a tattva drishti. It is the elemental vision that makes it complete. When you see the elements as they are and interacting with each other, your vision, everything that is to be known is complete. It's complete. There's nothing to be known. You see.
Dada y Niruma fueron a Toronto, ¿no? Y los Mahatmas allá estaban entusiasmados en que conozcan las cataratas de Niágara. Entonces fueron Dada y Niruma Niruma decía, ¡ay, qué hermoso que es! Y estaba absorta en las cataratas. Este, y, y de repente Dada se acerca y le pregunta, bueno, ¿qué es lo que estás diciendo? Dice, ¡ay, que esto es hermoso! ¿No es fantástico? Y Dada le dice, es solo agua y piedras, ¿no? Es de la visión de lo elemental. Y lo ves como son, y el conocimiento está absolutamente todo completo.
Water and rocks. You see. And Niruma says, wow, Dada is breaking my illusion so beautiful.
Y Niruma dice, wow, Dada rompió mi ilusión, qué maravilloso.
Yeah, so if it, this this is happening to all of us too. This same thing is happening for all of us too. Slowly and surely, all of these external pursuits are seen for what they are, you see. I'm going here, going there, want to do this, being around this, all of these things are now seen in the light of the self, see, in the light of the self.
Y todo esto también nos sucede a nosotros, ¿no? Y todo lo que vemos lo estamos viendo en la luz del ser.
So, Dada, what does it mean to not have anything left to know? When you say there's nothing left to know for you, what does it mean? What does it mean? And Dada gives a fantastic reply. It is Gnan. It is L capital light. Light. It is light. Whereas with the intellect, a great deal of interference occurs. To know through the intellect, you see, intellect makes you move further and further into the relative, gives rise to quarrels and matbed. Matbed means, mat means opinion, ved means separation. Means separation due to opinions. It's divisiveness due to opinions. Where there is the light of the self, matbed does not exist. Interference does not exist. Nothing of that sort exists. The more you object in the relative, it is called buddhivad. In other words, now it's speech of the intellect, you see. It is intellect speech, intellectual speech. We do not have speech of the intellect, vad, vani, with the intellectual speech. We are abodh in the relative and the gnani in the real, in the gnani in the real. Mhm.
Ujú. Yes. Dice el interlocutor, ¿qué significa no tener nada que saber? A lo cual Dada responde, el Gnan es luz, y mientras que con el intelecto se producen muchas interferencias. Conocer a través del intelecto que le lleva a uno más lejos en lo relativo, da lugar a peleas y a Madbet. Madbet es separación por opinión. Entonces, donde hay luz, la luz del ser, no existen las peleas, no existen las interferencias, no existe nada de eso. Cuanto más objetas en lo relativo, eso es eh, Budajet,
Buddhivad.
Budajet,
Buddhi. Uh-huh.
Buddhivat, que es el habla del intelecto, cargado de conflicto. Y nosotros no tenemos Budajet, nosotros somos a Buda en lo relativo y Gnan en lo real.
Mhm. So, what should a Gnani Purush be like? He should be without intellect. Abud. I do not have an intellect, that is why I have found all the solutions. As long as there is intellect, you will not find complete solution, you see. Therefore, where there is no intellect, there is Gnan, and where there is Gnan, there is no intellect. There can only be one of the two.
Wow. ¿Cómo, cómo debe ser un Gnani Purush? Él, él debe ser, él debe ser sin intelecto. Yo no tengo intelecto. Por eso le encuentro, por eso, a ver, dice, yo he encontrado todas las soluciones. Mientras haya intelecto, tú no encontrarás la solución completa. Por lo tanto, donde no hay intelecto, hay Gnan. Y donde hay Gnan, no hay intelecto.
Mhm.
Solo puede haber uno de los dos.
Mhm. Mhm. So, my friends, we have come to the end of our satsang for today, and two important chapters here in with reference to the ego, very subtle ego. Egoism is all subtle before it becomes open and evident to everyone, you see. So,
Ujú.
so our vision, Dada takes our vision and focuses on these very subtle things that are happening inside us that is creating problems for us only, you see. Nobody is to be blamed. We need to look at it. We need to see it as it is happening, you see, or before it happens. When it happens, we need to see it, and we need to quickly say, I'm wrong. My friends, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I turn back. I take back my words. There's nothing wrong in saying this. Take back my words. See?
Yeah. En todo esto estuvimos viendo la diferencia en las interferencias entre el intelecto y no el intelecto. Y Dada nos trae a esta visión profunda que no genera problemas con el resto, y es poder ver antes que suceda este, cuáles son las posibilidades, ¿no? Y poder decir, perdón, me equivoqué, no fui claro, y no existe nada de malo en absoluto sobre eso. Poder
I,
decir, me
yeah.
equivoqué.
These two are hidden in this 325 Dadavani in a very subtle manner. You see, this this gives you the glimpse of where the Gnani is, and that is our goal. That is where we need to be. You see, That is, we need to be there. That is the goal of Akram Vignan, to be totally free from all the disturbances and the problems of this life as it is, you see.
Ujú. Esto es como que está, no está escondido, está guardado en el conocimiento. Y donde está este conocimiento es a donde nosotros queremos estar, sin tener en un lugar donde los conflictos no existan.
Very good, Vishuddhatma Bhagwan. Everyone
Thank you,
present here,
Shuddha.
so beautiful, wonderful darshan of all of you. Susan, Reinhold, and all the Mahatmas here, Anila, I see all of this, Bobby, Moni, Gabi, Luz, Christian, Yes, Siaya, Kimochi, Marcela, Rosie, Devdasi, Sandra, Gonzalo, Carlos, and Aman. Right, so wonderful. Yeah, my highest namaskar. Jai
Highest
Sachit.
namaskar, Shuddha.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Jai Sachidana.
Muchas gracias, Jai Sachitana
Satchidana
Mahatma.